Imagine a bomb so powerful it can make the ground shake thousands of miles away. This wasn't science fiction. This was the Tsar Bomba. The Soviet Union tested this weapon in 1961. It exploded with the force of 50 million tons of TNT. That's more powerful than all the bombs used in World War II, combined. The Tsar Bomba was a giant. It weighed 27 tons and was 26 feet long. It was so big that it had to be carried by a specially modified bomber plane. The blast was unlike anything the world had ever seen. It created a fireball 5 miles wide. It sent a mushroom cloud soaring 40 miles into the atmosphere. The Tsar Bomba was a terrifying display of power. It showed the world just how destructive nuclear weapons could be. It made people realize the danger of the nuclear arms race. It was a wake-up call for humanity. After World War II, the United States and the Soviet Union became rivals. They competed for power and influence around the world. This rivalry was called the Cold War. Both sides built up huge armies and stockpiles of weapons. The most frightening of these weapons were nuclear bombs. The US had the first nuclear weapons. They used them on Japan in 1945, ending World War II. The Soviet Union developed its own atomic bomb in 1949. This started a dangerous arms race. Both sides tried to build more and bigger bombs. They wanted to be stronger than the other. The world lived in fear of a nuclear war. People worried about cities being destroyed. They worried about radioactive fallout poisoning the air and water. The Cold War was a time of great tension and uncertainty. Scientists played a key role in the development of nuclear weapons. They understood the science behind the atom. They knew about the tremendous energy it contained. Many scientists felt a heavy responsibility. They had helped to unleash a force that could destroy humanity. Some scientists believed it was their duty to use their knowledge for their country's defense. Others questioned the morality of creating such destructive weapons. They worried about the consequences of a nuclear war. They urged world leaders to find peaceful solutions. The debate about the ethics of nuclear weapons continues today. Scientists, politicians, and ordinary citizens still grapple with these difficult questions. Should such powerful weapons exist? How can we prevent their use? In the early 1960s, the Soviet Union decided to build the biggest bomb ever. They called it the Tsar Bomba. It was meant to be a show of force. They wanted to demonstrate their military might to the United States and the rest of the world. The Tsar Bomba was a hydrogen bomb. It was far more powerful than the atomic bombs used in World War II. A team of brilliant Soviet scientists and engineers worked on the project. One of the key figures was Andrei Sakharov. He later became known for his work on human rights and disarmament. The bomb was designed to be as destructive as possible. It was a terrifying example of the Cold War arms race. It showed how far countries were willing to go to intimidate their rivals. Section 5. A Day the World Trembled. The Tsar Bomba's Test and Its Aftermath. On October 30th, 1961, the Soviet Union tested the Tsar Bomba. They chose a remote island in the Arctic Ocean called Novaya Zemlya. A specially modified bomber plane dropped the bomb from a high altitude. It exploded with incredible force. The blast was visible for hundreds of miles. It created a mushroom cloud that reached 40 miles high. Windows shattered in Finland, hundreds of miles away. The seismic shock from the explosion circled the Earth 3 times. The island of Novaya Zemlya was flattened. Buildings were vaporized. The Tsar Bomba test shocked the world. It demonstrated the unimaginable destructive power of nuclear weapons. It was a wake-up call about the dangers of the arms race. Section 6. Echoes of the Explosion. The Tsar Bomba's long-term impact. The Tsar Bomba test had a profound impact on the world. It intensified the debate about nuclear weapons. People everywhere feared the consequences of a nuclear war. They worried about the long-term effects of radiation. The test also had a significant environmental impact. It released a huge amount of radioactive material into the atmosphere. This contamination spread across the globe. It had long-lasting effects on the environment and human health. The Tsar Bomba test was a turning point in the Cold War. It led to international efforts to limit the testing and spread of nuclear weapons. It highlighted the need for dialogue and cooperation between nations. Section 7. A stark reminder. The legacy of the Tsar Bomba. The Tsar Bomba stands as a stark reminder of the destructive power of nuclear weapons. It is a symbol of the dangers of the Cold War arms race. It shows how easily tensions can escalate. The bomb's legacy is a complex one. It is a testament to human ingenuity, but also to our capacity for destruction. It reminds us that we have the power to destroy ourselves and our planet. The Tsar Bomba test serves as a cautionary tale for future generations. It highlights the importance of diplomacy, cooperation, and arms control. It reminds us that we must work together to prevent the proliferation of nuclear weapons. Section 8. A Call for Peace. Lessons from the Tsar Bomba in a Modern World. Though the Cold War is over, the threat of nuclear war remains. Several countries possess nuclear weapons. Tensions between nations continue to rise. We must learn from the mistakes of the past. We must find ways to resolve conflicts peacefully. The Tsar Bomba test showed us that there are no winners in a nuclear war. Everyone loses. It is our responsibility to work towards a world free from nuclear weapons. We must support international treaties that limit the development and testing of nuclear weapons. We must encourage dialogue and cooperation between nations. We must work to build a safer and more peaceful world for all. Section 9. Our Shared Future. Choosing a path away from nuclear annihilation. The future is in our hands. We can choose to continue down a path of fear and distrust, or we can choose a different path. We can choose a path of cooperation and peace. We can choose to build a world where nuclear weapons are not an option. The Tsar Bomba reminds us of the terrible consequences of hatred and division. It challenges us to build a better future for ourselves and our children. Let us choose wisely. Let us choose peace. Let us choose a future where the horrors of the Tsar Bomba are never repeated.